Got a siren going on outside. What's going on? What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Skywalker the Jedi. Back at you guys with another one. Hope you guys are all in good spirits today. Much love to everybody. Much love to Seal Nation, the Cool Table family, Mikey Verse, Syndicate Network, Mikey Verse forever. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with me, rocking out. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate and love each and every single one of you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Before we get started, I do want to mention that The GoFundMe for Mikey Sutton's family is down in the description below. Earlier today, I was able to tally up all of the super chats from the stream earlier this week, and I was able to get that over into the GoFundMe. So that felt great. Much love to all you guys that um, were able to pour into the stream the other night, and able to help Mikey's family out. That meant the world to me. And I'll be doing more as soon as I'm able to. But thanks to all you guys that supported the stream the other night, and we were able to get those funds over to the family earlier today. So much love to all you guys. Like I said, the link is in the description. You got the homie Neo Sevens just posted it in the chat. Thank all you guys for being the great community that we have been up until this point and throughout this trying time. I know that things have been tough lately. Obviously I had my stream earlier this week that was super emotional. um you know uh but I've always been honest with you guys about the things going on with me and like where I'm at. Right, I do go to therapy. I was able to talk to my therapist about it earlier today, and that felt, that had me in a lot of better spirits. And I want to do this stream to kind of highlight some things that I think are great news, and that I know Mikey would have enjoyed getting this news and really rocking out and seeing all this stuff come to fruition. So I want to thank all you guys for being the tremendous community that you have been. And let's just continue to get better a little bit day by day. And that's all that can be expected. It's going to be tough. Recently, I have just pretty much been finding myself caught up in between either crying or laughing, right? Just randomly throughout the day. And, I think that when I try to come up with ways to be more productive and, kind of keep these things pushing forward, um, I I know that some of these nudges may be from um, beyond uh, you know, beyond the ether, as I should say, right? But I hope all you guys are in great spirits because I think that we're all gonna have a lot of fun with this stream. Um, yeah, don't time him out, Mama Bear. Just ban him. Yeah, but we're not gonna let that uh, stop our joy, right? Absolutely, absolutely. Now, um, as you guys know, we are still on the road to 1K. Um, Make sure that you guys are liking the content, sharing it out, subscribing, all that stuff. We got a lot of different ways that we are coming up with to be pushing forward with this whole Mikey verse stuff, and to see that Dreamwalker and that this man's ideas were like that they are brought forth to fruition with the greatest of admiration and things that they should be getting, right? Because I think that that is another way in which this whole thing wins and becomes successful. And I think that, when you see certain things happening and certain things being said, it only lets you know that you're on a great path, right? And that, when people are trying to stop what you're doing, it shows that, it's working, right? And I've always known that, right? Like the more that, we've gotten these like random things that have happened, right, with certain people in our communities and stuff like that, right? Doing certain things and trying to knock us off path, like from behind the scenes, right? Doing things, trying to, uh, get us to, lose our focus, right? When that happens, I think that, you know, uh, it is best to take that as, yo, like that must mean that this is working if there are forces that are trying to, right, like so readily, or forces that are so readily willing to try to become obstacles, right? So with that being said, make sure that you guys are still tuning in to these platforms, because we do have a lot of things coming in the future, and ways that we're going to boost this whole uh, Mikey verse thing, while also um, seeing this sales thing through to fruition. Because I really think that and after what I got to say tonight, right, they're gonna be more mad. So let them be mad. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. People are, this is the way, right? As we've been so saying this whole time, right? Um, Let me talk about these hashtags real quick, right? Because this is one reason why I've been so emotional this whole week, to be quite honest. The part that was the hardest for me after Mikey passed was that I felt this like big hole left in my chest, right? Because of the fact that Mikey believed, Mikey believed, he believed wholeheartedly. I mean, you guys may think that you know how much that he believed because of the things that you saw on screen. I will say that I know for a fact, right, that um, Mikey believed so much more than you guys will ever be able to fathom. He believed not only in me wholeheartedly, but he believed in these hashtags. He believed in what they stood for. He believed in what they meant to the community. He believed in their viability, right? He believed in the outcome, right? He believed in the ROEs, right? There is no way in which Mikey didn't show belief in not only as I said myself, but these hashtags, the syndicate network. Oh no, Mikey had plans to take this thing to the stratosphere, people. I mean, the things that were being worked on, the things that were being cooked up, it would have been like never before done, right? And when you have somebody that has that kind of belief in you, and you lose that person, it can be extremely tough, right? It can be extremely tough. But at the same time, what do I do with that, right? Like, now that Mikey has passed, um, do I take this man's belief and do I like not push forward, right? Do I take this man's belief and do I not see this thing through um to fruition, right? Like, what do I do with that? And it has been in these past few days that I have really figured out that, oh no, this will not be the time that we turn around, right? I can't, even if I wanted to, even if I wanted to turn around, let's just say, for instance, right, that 2 weeks ago, Skywalker was thinking about walking away from everything. Didn't happen, but let's just say that it did. Could he walk away now? Absolutely fucking not. Right. And so I'm taking this pain that I feel and this hurt, all of these emotions that I'm going to feel, and I'm going to pour it into my work even more so than I ever did before. You guys thought that I was going hard before. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. That was just the beginning. That was just the prelude for what is coming, because Mikey believed. And when I heard about what I'm going to discuss tonight, I really feel like this was a nod, right? And I'm going to get to that in a second about why I feel like this was a nod from Mikey that, hey, we're on the right path. I was even talking to my therapist about this shit earlier. And I was saying, like, yo, how do I chalk all these things up to coincidence? Like, even if I wanted to, and I'm just laying out like how we all met and like just everything that can, just in all these things. And then I ended it with what we're going to discuss tonight. And my therapist literally was like, yo, sometimes like when you think everything are just coincidences, they can be little nudges from the universe saying that you're on the right path. And I absolutely think that we're on the. I know, no, I don't think. I know for a fucking fact that we're on the right path, and we're going to discuss a bit more about why that is true in 1 second, right? But let me get through the rest of the rigmarole here. If you are rocking out with those hashtags, make sure you're using the rules of engagement, right? Which are number one, we're going to be positive. We're engaging with the current home of Zack Snyder, right? So there's no reason to take over any of that older animosity from WBD, WB, or any of those entities over to the current home of Zack Snyder, which is Netflix. They're investing in Zack Snyder, which means they're investing in us as Zack Snyder fans. Rule number two is we ask that you do not mix these hashtags with others, as we are trying to keep the engagement as focused and effective as possible, right? And that is what we're going to be continuing to do into the future, right? Rule number three, do not mention, reply to, quote, tweet, tag, anything like that, anybody over at WBD, which is including but not limited to one James Gunn. Ooh, rule number three. We also ask that you subscribe to ZSJL to Netflix on YouTube, and also that you are following ZSJL to Netflix on Twitter, right? And make sure that you head on over to inktothepeople.com. There is still a couple shirts and hoodies over there with designs from the world-renowned artist Noel Leon Flores, right? And these are supporting a great cause like AFSP. So make sure that you head on over there, as well as I said before, go to the link in the description, and that was placed in the chat earlier. That is the GoFundMe link for Mikey Sutton and his family to help in these trying times with the expenses that have been incurred since his passing last weekend. So let's make sure that we do those things and that we are having a good time, because we are about to we about to get to it, right? We about to get to it. I see some homies in the chat. Much love to everybody over here, man. Yo, don't pay no attention to all that stuff going on. You know, it's all it's all great. It's all great. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Much love to the cool table. We got Super Bro, Mama Bear, Neo Sevens, like I said, Fud Rock, You know what I'm saying? Look, you guys are all awesome. You know, you guys are all dope. You guys are all dope. Nessa Noel is in the building. Much love, Nessa. Right? Uh, you guys are all amazing. And thank you guys for being here. This is super dope. So glad that all you guys are here. We got Mark with the $5 super chat, man, saying we fight, we never compromise, not even in the face of Armageddon. Hashtag for Mikey. For Mikey, indeed. Yo, you guys are dope. You guys are dope. Let me get a homie Mark a drop real quick. And this drop is hitting a little bit different nowadays. I gotta be honest.
I'm not broken. And I'm not alone.
Right? We are definitely not broken, and we are definitely not alone. All right. Now, let me tap y'all in with the sponsors real quick, and then we gonna get to cooking, yo. We gonna get to cooking. I promise. Let's get to it.
Steppenwolf, have you begun the conquest?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, why are we gathered here today? Right? Why would Sky call you guys here to talk about something, right? You know, and why is Sky smiling, right? Because this is not a time to smile, right? Apparently, you know what I'm saying? So uh I want to say, you know, as I was saying earlier, when I was talking to Mr. Sutton, a lot of times behind the scenes, man, this dude really believed in these hashtags, right? And we used to really, man, we've spent so many hours, right? Um, so many hours just discussing in ways in which that this thing was going to come to fruition, right? And that also, like what we're going to be, some of the dominoes, right, that were going to fall before this thing would come to fruition, right? And he'd be like, yo, I'm pretty sure this thing is going to go like in waves where, you know, there's going to be like things that are, you know, kind of making their way over to Netflix just to kind of test the waters out, right? Just to see what they would do. And this was before any of the DC projects started popping up over there, mind you. And you know, it was just like, yo, this is I mean, like once these things started happening, right? Like with the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and all the things like that, um, you know, hold on, I got yeah, when Justice League and Justice League Unlimited started popping up over there, we're like, yo, this might be the beginnings of like, yo, a bunch of stuff like making its way over there. But Mikey would always be like, yo, man, but there are certain projects that like once they end up over there, you kind of know that this thing is getting big, right? So first you had the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. And then we were speaking and he was like, yo, but wait till some of like these like big solid IPs, right? Because he's like, yo, that's Justice League. It's still not like just Batman. It's still not like um just Superman, right? So he used to always say like, yo, wait until some of those start popping up over there. Then we had the Batman pop up on Netflix. And Mikey was like, "Yo, that's great, right? That's big news." You know what I'm saying? And um, he was like, "But right, there's still like that. There's still not it's not that one yet, right? Like we only know about a couple of like you know like almost like the holy grails of like the oh my god! As soon as I said that, I looked down in the chat and I see also, yeah. It's not the holy grail of DC animation, right? Because it's only a couple of those, right? And so, um, he's like, yo, wait until you know stuff like Batman the animated series starts showing up on Netflix. He's like, when that starts showing up on Net, look. Mikey brought it to me so many times. Like, yo, um when you see Batman the animated series start popping up on Netflix, you know that's because that's the one. He like that is the one, right? So, we hadn't talked about that in probably like couple weeks, but this was definitely like this was always uh his thinking that like once stuff like Batman the animated series started popping up on Netflix, then you knew that there was something going down because like that is one of DC's biggest IP, like their biggest IPs ever. Like that thing right there is it's one of the best, like not just the best cartoons, it's one of the best TV shows, right? I still believe it's either like number one or number two for like the most spinoffs ever, right? Because all these animation stuff that came after that was pretty much all spinoffs of Batman the animated series, right? So with that happening and him always being so dead set, like, yo, when Batman the animated series comes out on Netflix, right? Because Kevin Conroy, that's our Batman. Kevin Conroy is our Batman, right? It's probably the most definitive Batman ever, right? For not like for everyone, right? When people first think Batman, a lot of times they think Kevin Conroy. They picture that voice, right? Because it's been in all types of media throughout video games, television, movies, right? And it's just one of the most iconic shows of our time. And as Batman said, yes, R.I.P. to Arlene Sorkin, who was the voice for Harley Quinn on that show, which is also the show that where the Harley Quinn character was created, right? Mama Bear is absolutely right. A large portion of current DC fans is as a result of the Batman animated series. Absolutely. Right. So with that being stated, yeah, it's like, yo, once Batman the animated series was gonna come over there, he's like, yo, this thing is gonna be massive, right? So with that being stated, guys, guess what? It was made clear like was a day or two ago that Batman the animated series is coming to Netflix, yo. Right? And when I saw this news, guys, I'm gonna try not to tear up. I'm gonna try not to tear up because I'm about to explain to you guys why I think that this is a little nudge that we're in the right direction. So I see this article pop up. It's like, yo, Batman animated series coming to Netflix, right? I'm like, yo, this is crazy, right? I'm reading this thing. I forget which site that it was. I'm truly sorry. I probably should have put that in the description as well. But I've been a little busy. Right? But um, Batman the animated series is coming to Netflix. And it's funny because first it's already on Netflix in Canada. This time it's coming to Netflix in the UK and in Ireland, right? But you see that there's like these international kind of deals being worked out, right? Where it's popping up in different countries, right? And not everywhere at the same time, probably because of some licensing things, right? But you got Batman the animated series, guys. This is not only another sign that we're on the right fucking path. This is not only just another sign that that we're gonna win because this thing is happening, right? So everybody that has tried to do things like disrupt what we're doing, put obstacles in front of us, and do weird things like come in the chat, you know what I'm saying, like and say weird shit, right? While we're talking about our friends, people that do things like that, right? They're gonna have to deal with the ramifications when this shit comes true, right? Because I didn't act in that way, right? I didn't pretend to be part of a fan base for so long just to at the last second be exposed that I never really cared in the first place, and I was just trying to use this for monetary and or social media gain, right? I'm not gonna have to deal with those emotions, right? When I look in the mirror, I'm gonna see somebody that was proactive, right? And that did and moved in a certain way that, was trying to move the fan base forward at every single waking moment, right? That took what the fan base wanted and needed into consideration, right? And did what was going to be best, even when people were trying to knock us off course, right? You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's throughout all these things, we continued, right? And we fought forward. And I know that, and this is where, guys, it's coming to Netflix on my birthday. Batman the animated series is coming to Netflix on my birthday. Yo, if this ain't a sign to keep going, right? The one project that Mikey always pointed to as saying, yo, when this happens, Sky, that's going to be the one. And it's coming to Netflix on my birthday. See, that's why I don't care what they say. I don't care what they do. I don't care. It makes me no difference. All they're doing is outing themselves. Right? We're the only ones that stayed the course. That's why they tried so hard to knock us off balance. This is why. But I'm built for it. The Syndicate Network is built for it. This community is built for it. We're going to get through this, yo. We are. This is not me thinking that it's going to happen. This is not me wishing that we're going to get through it. No, we are. Because as sad as I was that Mikey passed away, when I think back, and this is the God's honest truth, that man gave us every single thing that we needed to be successful. He gave us every single thing that we needed to be successful. So while they go low, we keep going forward. See, that's the difference. We don't go high, we go forward. That's another thing that I picked up from Mikey. People used to say the craziest things about him, right? Even some of these people, right, who tried to make this man's life a living hell was on stream crying crocodile tears after he passed away, right? And it's fine, right? But I learned that from him. Do not pay attention to what these people are doing to try to stop you from reaching your goals. They are obstacles, right? They're there for a reason, right? Nothing worth having is going to be gained easily. Everything that you want and desire is on the other side of your comfort zone. You're going to have to do things where you feel uncomfortable, where you feel unsure, but you have to push forward. That is the only way that you will be able to attain things that are difficult to get, or that, will be worth anything. So it makes us no difference what they do, what they say, however much they try to knock us off course, we will continue to go forward. Oh man, yo, I love you guys, yo. We already had been keeping you guys at the forefront of all the decisions that we have been making in this movement. We had already been doing so. This past weekend was one of the toughest weeks of my life. This has been one of the toughest weeks of my life. Man, I've been, I was in the army, I've been to war, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I would happily go back to some of those moments, right? That I may have thought, oh my goodness, this is a look, it is a sad time, but at the same time, yo, also one of the conversations that I would have with Mikey, um, you know, often was about how this thing had become bigger than all of us, right? When Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? When Cell ZSJL to Netflix comes to fruition, right? When that moment happens, it will have been because of all of us, right? Because of all of us. Right? And Mikey and I both agreed this thing was bigger than me. It was bigger than him. It was bigger than the Syndicate Network. It was bigger than all of us. Right? So that's another reason why I'm even more galvanized to keep this thing going for. Man, when I say that this man gave us everything that we need to be successful, I mean that shit. I mean it. This is a special community. You guys showed that this last week. You guys showed us that. So, as I said before, when Zack Snyder's Justice League, when Cell ZSJL comes to fruition, right? When Zack Snyder's Justice League is sold to Netflix, right? That is going to be a moment where all of you guys that have been participating this entire time and been engaging the right way and have been here, supporting and never wavered. This is, man, you, if you weren't there for Release the Snyder Cut, if you weren't like a part of that, this was your chance to really be a part of something, right? And for me, that watched the entire Release the Snyder Cut thing play out, right? This is the same stuff that happened back then. This is the same stuff that happened back then, right? So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I'm not like bewildered by any of this stuff. It doesn't vex me. It's been super like obvious, right? We've just been, like that little nonsense you guys saw in the chat earlier. There's been a lot of that kind of stuff going on, but just behind the scenes. But we let people live because it's like, yo, we're just trying to get this thing done. If we stopped and had to address every single thing that people have done behind the scenes to try to knock us off, we would have not gotten anywhere, which is exactly what the fuck they wanted in the first place. A lot of these people was never really fans like that. They just used this movement to impact their fucking social media standing and make money on YouTube and other platforms, right? So it's like, yo, it's cool, right? But then when the real fans come in and the real people that's trying to get shit done come in and we trying to take this thing over, don't be surprised if you don't get on the train, it runs you over. Like it's either gonna be one of the two. Either get out the way of the train or get on it. The good Austin says Mikey talked to us about it like it was just a matter of time. He was the biggest believer because he knew the most. Man, look, look, you guys that they have no idea, Austin, how much of a believer that this man like absolutely was. When we cut the bullshitters out of the conversation, they got real mad and they still mad and they gonna stay mad. Right? I saw you guys saying, or somebody saying in the chat about some site, some outlet being like anti-Snyder or whatever. They're all gonna continue to do this. Right? And then when Cell ZSJL happens, they're going to be mad all over again. And then when Cell Snyderverse happens, they're going to be mad all over again. So this is not going to end anytime soon. So it makes no sense to give these people any kind of attention. Right? We just highlight it. We ain't even got to name the outlets. And then we move forward. So everybody that has been rocking out with this stuff, man, you guys have been amazing. This is beautiful, man. Look, I want you guys to put your last questions and comments down in the chat. I wasn't trying to come out here and cook all night. I just wanted to come out here and give you guys this news. I'm gonna be closing down probably about like the next like 15, 20 minutes. And it's just, we just gonna keep this thing rocking, yo. Right? Mikey gave us the hope. We now continue to fight. Absolutely, Bad Dan. Right? Mikey gave us the blueprint, yo. Mikey been giving us the blueprint this whole time on how to react to this stuff. Right? And he's gonna stay with us because his voice is still in my head, and it's never gonna go away. It's never gonna go away, right? Yes. So CSA, they never fought us. Not as United. Definitely not, right? Mama Bear said, I'm a parent. I don't acknowledge temper tantrums. Exactly. Right? Like when they be sitting there like, oh, they ain't throwing a tantrum, it's like, yo, what do you do? Like, do you give in, and do you just continue to do that every time and reinforce that this bad behavior is gonna get my attention? Because that's all that it does, right? They want me to see them come in here and talk crap, and then for me to be going on a stream and going on some long rant and bringing their name up and oh yeah, see, and then in the meantime, I'm not talking about sale. I'm not doing engagement events, right? So it's like, what's the point, right? I could be doing actual work. Just saying. Oh man, the homie DC Talk with the $10 super chat saying hashtag for Mikey Sky. Man. Mikey Sutton's impact is never good. Man, look. Like there's so many ways in which if it hadn't been for Mikey Sutton, Sales ESJ on Netflix maybe wouldn't have became a reality, right? There was a lot of guidance that was there, that really helped us in a lot of like tough situations, right? There was a lot of guidance. There was a lot of like information that we were given. You know what I'm saying? That kind of put things into perspective, and we just gonna take that stuff and push forward, Joe. Like, man, I just picture Mikey and him just seeing me all sad and not wanting to get out of bed, being like, Sky, come on, like, what the fuck, man? You gotta, like, he's really like, bro, now it's not the time to give up. Like, now's not the time to stop fighting. Like, he would literally always say that, like, bro, like, now is not the time. I would come to him like, bro, fucking, hey, man, uh, they over here trying to talk about the restore hashtags, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, like, what's up with this restore stuff? He'd be like, bro, like, don't even. He'd be like, why? Like, I don't understand, like, why they're still doing this, right? And then he'd just be like, yo, Sky, it's just, they're jealous, man. Like, they're just jealous. They're jealous that they didn't come up with it. They're jealous that, they couldn't keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, like, can you imagine if you guys actually end up getting the Snyderverse? Like, yo, it's gonna be crazy. And a lot of people made themselves into our adversaries for some odd reason when we weren't even trying to be, and then turned around and had this happen. And then it's like, well, I'm still a Snyder fan, but I can't support Cell because of the people that came up with it. It does not compute. Bow, and then you know what I'm saying. It's just like, it's just that's kind of how that goes, right? And so when you have people that are moving effectively that you don't really like or don't want to engage with, it makes it tough to be able to support their cause, even if it would be one that you guys are all in for, or that would benefit all parties. But we just keep moving forward, and Thank you for the super chat, bro. 100%. Much love to the homie DC Talk. Right? Let me get a drop real quick, man. There you go. All right. Much love. Much love to the homie Neo Sevens coming through with the $10 super chat saying hashtag sales ESJL to Netflix. Hashtag sales Snyderverse to Netflix is the motherfucking way. It is. It is, right? And a lot of people are upset because, they tried to get, or, at the end of the day, Neo Sevens, I mean, as you already know, but I'm just stating this for the people in the back that might not have been privy to a lot of this stuff. It was always over the hashtags, bro. Because at the end of the day, right, everybody that had a problem with what we were doing, they tried to introduce a new hashtag. At the end of the day, right, like it was never like, hey, we can keep the hashtags, but then let's do this, or let's try to promote it in this other new and innovative and exciting way, right? Like, Sky dressing up like Black Superman and going to the Stone Quarry, right? Yo, instead of doing stuff like that, right? No, let's do this other thing, but let's also introduce a new hashtag that I just so happened to come up with, right? So it was always about the damn hashtag, man. And it's not surprising, as I've said, time and time again, right? And we're just gonna push forward, Joe, because it let us know that these hashtags are powerful. They are. They are, right? So thank you, bro, for the super chat. And you already know. Marcus, man, I hope you are doing well, yo. I hope everybody that has been a part of this thing, like since day one, I really hope that all you guys are doing better. As I said before, the goal is just a little bit better each day. So we're gonna continue on, and this is a sad time, but as I stated before, it's also an exciting time because we get to do this for Mikey. Like we get the opportunity to really do something for him, to not only have Cell come into fruition, which he was a huge advocate for, and one of the reasons why he wanted to do night shift, honestly, but also because we're gonna make his projects and the Mikeyverse live on forever. Right. And the Mikeyverse is going to live on forever just by sale happening as well. Because it's like, yo, there is no sale without that dude, yo. There is no sale without Mikey. And then, so when that comes to fruition, oh my God, we're going to celebrate him and his contributions to this thing in a huge way. And then also when Dreamwalker comes out and the Mikeyverse is literally like cemented in reality forever, right? When that happens, then we're gonna do it all over again, and we're gonna celebrate this man, and we're gonna scream from the rooftops how much of an impact that he had on each and every one of us. So we get to do that for him. We get to do that for him. We get to make sure that his legacy lives on. And that is exciting for me personally. And I just can't wait. I can't wait until all this stuff happens. And, we're going to be here celebrating. And speaking of that, I have changed up one thing. I was going to do my story time on the 1,000 sub stream, but I'm actually going to change and do my story time when sale becomes a reality. I want to honor Mikey that way. Also, man, look, I can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you for the super chat, Marcus. Let me hit you with this real quick, bro.
The question, no, the challenge won't be doing it. It will be not doing, not seeing.
Hey, this is the top tier comment for it, Rock. He said irrelevance is a long walk home. At least the babies won't be long. Oh my goodness, yo. Oh man, shouts out to the cool table, yo. Oh man, shouts out to Leon. Much love, Leon. Hope you in good spirits, bro. Um, Matter of fact, look, I'm gonna shoot y'all a link to the cool table chat, and I'm gonna see if y'all want to hop on. If any of them hop on, then I'll extend the stream. Yes, I'm about to put the pressure on them like that. But if not, we're gonna get out of here pretty soon because yeah, I just wanted to come out here and cook on this Batman the animated series thing because yo, every single time that I thought about it, I kept tearing up because when I saw that this shit's coming out on my birthday, man, I was like, I don't know how else that I'm gonna see that this isn't like a little nudge from the homie Mikey. Like, I'm sorry, there was just no other way for me to try to take that. Because that's crazy. That's crazy that this thing is coming out on Netflix in the UK and in Ireland. And it's even crazier that the shit's coming out on my birthday. Like, that's wild. That is wild. Oh man, we are 2 likes away from completing the conquest. That's wild. Bad Dan say, yep, I knew it wouldn't be 15 to 20 minutes. Hey, I'm just saying. Right. Paulo Caesar says passion and perseverance equals Snyder Cut in all of our hands, Blu-ray, 4K, etc. And that is what will get hashtag sales ZSL to Netflix to succeed. Stand up for what you fight for. Keyboard warriors never move their asses. Look, they don't even get off their ass to go support James Gunn theatrically when they swear his movies be hitting the hardest. You know what I'm saying? They swear this dude's like some auteur. You know what I'm saying? And he put out a DC movie that lost like $150 million. So whenever that happens, you know, yeah, you got to look at them keyboard warriors like they're just that, keyboard warriors. Real Talk says, man, this news brings me such tears of joy. Happy for all of y'all. Mikey really looking down on all of us. Yo, real talk. How else would I supposed to like? How else was I supposed to feel about seeing that? I'm about to get out of drop in 1 second. Let me just get through this, right? How else was I supposed to feel about this happening, right? Like when I see that this man literally kept saying to me, he said it on stream and he said it privately multiple times. Like, yo, when Batman the animated series is coming to Netflix, right? Like, that's when you'll know that this thing is pretty much cemented because that's like one of their biggest things, like ever. And they don't just give that IP out like willy-nilly, right? And drilled that in my head time after time. And then a couple of days after he passes, I hear that it's coming to Netflix in the UK and in Ireland on my birthday. How else am I supposed to take that as but a sign that we got to keep this thing going forward, right? And you guys completed the conquest. You guys are super awesome. You guys earned this last drop. Let me give it to y'all real quick. Y'all already know. Let's tap in with the sponsors. They got something to say to y'all.
You still Oh, the Great One, 50,000 more worlds. He will hear your plea when you pay your debt.
Yes, 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 yes. We got Fudd Roxanne. Once again, the moral, the moral arc of the universe always bends towards justice, right? You know what I'm saying? Sin Havoc said over $200 million loss. Hey, damn. So I was being nice, I guess, right? When I said 150 million, Sin Havoc saying, "Excuse me, Sky." It actually, in essence, lost over 200 million. I'm sorry. I won't make that mistake again, Sin Havoc. I promise I won't. Right? Whenever I bring up the Suicide Squad's box office failure, I will always correctly peg it as being over $200 million loss, right? Whereas the Zack Snyder films all made a huge profit, confirmed by one of the actual producers of I wonder where the producers are going to be confirming that the Suicide Squad was a box office boom for WBD, right? Yo, Qatar said Batman the animated series will air on Netflix Philippines. What? Right? Oh man, that's crazy. So it's on the Philippines too, right? WBD selling CDs and IPs out of the trunk, bro. This dude got the trunk open like Master P. Oh my God, bro. Right? Slipknot fan said nobody supported the Suicide Squad, and Black Widow was released under the same circumstances, but still made $400 million at the box office. Wow, right? Jungle Cruise too. Jungle Cruise was in theaters at the same time, bro. At the same time, and was available on Disney Plus. It made bank. So I don't care, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Right. We got Super Bro saying, have to say glad to see you in higher spirits tonight, Sky. Day by day, onward, Mikey verse, forever, Sales verse into Netflix. Yeah, like, look, we're taking it one day at a time, and we have to focus on the good in which Mikey left us with, right? And not focus on how sad that we may be currently, because I think that the way that we honor him is by continuing on pushing for these things that he believed in, right? This man truly believed in Seal Nation. He truly believed in the Syndicate Network. He truly believed in the Mikey verse, right? Like, he truly believed in Cell. Like, these are all things that this man truly, truly believed in. And not only just believed in it, because this is the thing that really got me when I kept thinking about it, right? Was that he was willing to bank his future successes a lot, like in large part on like these relationships, like on including us in all this stuff, by basing characters off of us and trying to bring us with him in terms of everything he was going to be doing, right? Like, so when you see that, and you know that there was that belief there, you have to keep going, right? And, when there is no belief in there, you get things like this, right? Like Blue Beetle being taken out of theaters. You know what I'm saying? That's because they don't believe that this thing is going to keep making any money, right? It's all about belief when you boil it down at the end of the day. And real quick, we got the homie, the Cool Table member popping in. the homie, the good Austin. What's going on, bro? How are you feeling, man? What's
What up,
going
homie?
on? Oh
What
wait,
up?
real quick. We got the $2 super chat from Chad saying hashtag for Mikey. Thank you, bro. Means the world. Let me give you a drop real quick. And matter of fact, let me play to something else. Drop that Mikey always seemed to love. It's like this like little video real quick that you always love.
Oh man. Look, we are approaching the man himself, Zack Snyder. Zack, yo, big, huge fan, yo. If you could sign for me, and it would make my entire life, Zack. If you could sign the hashtags that I put out, sales ZSJL to Netflix and sales Snyderverse. Yo. Woo! Hey, is he gonna do it? I don't know. Yo. Oh my God. Ah, yes. I love it. Thank you so much, Zach. You're amazing, sir. Can't wait to be here tomorrow and to finish this whole thing out. Exciting. Yes. For sure, yo.
That's awesome, dude. It's so funny seeing it again if you haven't seen it in a while. Like you see it so many times and you see it again, you're like, all right, let me actually watch it. Dude, his reaction when you said it, the first he's like, this mother.
Yo, that's the part that always got Mikey too, man. Like we used to literally talk about that shit all the time. And people like, yo, you can tell that when one time he was like, you could tell that Zach was just thinking the balls on this guy, like you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
right. Yeah, exactly. He's like,
oh,
he knows I can't write that, and then like at the end, I think when he says exciting, it's not about the weekend. He's like exciting about like what you guys just fucking just kind of had a conversations about before, and what he just wrote a hashtag about. And also, I'm a big like me having OCD and like having my own quirks. I just like noticed at the beginning of that when Zach has a pen in his hand and he like almost points at the camera. He's like doink, almost hits the camera. He's like, what's up? Dude, so cool. But yeah, that was one of Mikey's favorite videos. I'm like, which one is he gonna play? Because he had so many, dude. But yeah, that was definitely such a good moment, bro. Such a good moment.
Yeah, man, that video and the picture of me with Ray Porter was probably like his favorite. Man, he's
like, oh, look at that, Superman and Darkseid, yeah, all the time. All the time,
crazy, bro. But so thank you for coming through, man. How are you feeling knowing this news that Batman animated series is coming to Netflix in the UK and in Ireland on my birthday, bro? Like, what is that? I mean, look, am I tripping? Right? Look, we homies, bro. It's just me and you here, right? It ain't nobody else, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the chat.
Am I tripping? Right? Like, am I tripping? Because I don't know how else to kind of take this, Austin.
Well, it's funny you say that because you and I like texting each other. I said it was huge, like before you even I even knew that bit of information. I was like, you're like, this is the big one. I'm like, okay, cool. And you're like, this is no. I'm like, oh, it's that. I like figured it out. And you're like, yeah, dude. I'm like, what, dude? That's fucking huge. I didn't know like it was getting released on your birthday. Like that's just like that. Literally, I put it in the chat earlier. I said stars aligned. Like that's what it is, man. How could you not? How could you not think that the stars are aligning, giving you that birthday present as like a sign? Like, yo, it's so hard to get things licensed right now.
And I was feeling down too, man, when I saw this, and it's like really picked up my spirits, bro. It really did.
It's so funny because, and if anybody like doesn't know the whole story, or let me remind you like why it is a huge connection, because Mikey got the Spider Gate Scoop like became a thing just because he wanted to have good news on Kate Valdez's birthday. And during this whole thing, like we all needed some good news during this past week. And boom, like Mikey's like, yo, I got you, man. Let me give you a birthday present. Just like and that's how you gotta take it. Like right now there's a strike in America. Like there's a huge strike, like nothing can get done. And even if it does, they can't announce it. No one can talk about anything. I watched a podcast earlier with two comedians who are both actors as well. And the one, he's an older comedian. He's like, all right, great to have you here to promote nothing that you can't talk about right now. So cool seeing you. But like, that's how it is. They literally can't talk about anything because of the strike. And that bit of news, the fact that it's coming overseas is huge because they're still working on stuff. They're still trying to get money. And that's the one. That's the one that Mikey always talked about. That's the one that we always talked about behind the scenes. We're like, yo. And when he mentioned that first, we're like, you're right, dude. That is like, that's the one. That's the reason why Kevin Conroy is Kevin Conroy. That's the most notable one for all of the DC shows. And we got the homie coming and sliding in. What up, Leon?
While Leon appears, yo, Batman is in the building to talk about Batman the animated series coming to Netflix.
Yo, did you
on
see
my birthday?
Did you see the Easter egg I put in the thumbnail, by the way? I'm gonna have to get everyone to look back at the thumbnail again. But I put, when you told me the news, I put the Batman eyes in the fucking thumbnail, like hidden in the background, dude.
I didn't notice that, but I will go back and look.
Yeah, dog. What up,
I gotta
Leon?
check that out too, yo. Man, what's going on? What's going on? This is crazy news, man. I'm literally hearing about this through y'all, so I'm like taken aback. This is dope, man. This is real dope, man. It just shows another sale has taken place. You know, it's crazy, man. You know what I noticed? What was it? Yesterday, the day before that. Y'all seen the show? Is it Insecure or heard of that show Insecure on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
That shit's on Netflix, bro.
Yeah, wasn't that one of the first ones? That was
like one of the first ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the one.
Good. Okay, got you. Cause like
that's on there now, though.
Yeah, you're right. But what tripped me out was seeing it said HBO's
original,
HBO original Insecure. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like, that shit just hit different, bro. This shit, yo, people keep trying to doubt Cell. And I'm like, they're literally showing you it can happen. It's all about logistics, numbers, you know, who's rubbing who's back, who's doing who a favor, man. Like, it's all this impossible talk is BS. At the end of the day, it comes down to who's benefiting from it, dollars and cents, point blank.
Right.
So it's going to happen.
And especially now.
It's not for us to work out how, though. What were we going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to, like, piggyback on what you were saying, like, especially now. Especially the fact that the strike's going on now. And that's, I know we're going to always bring up Mikey. So if you're mad about that, sorry. But Mikey continued to say that too. It's like the strike actually kind of helps us because they need money and they need to like get some kind of revenue going. So it becomes like more of a reality, even if it doesn't happen in the US like right away. We're seeing that it's happened all around, and all
like
biggest parts.
Real quick too. It's super quick. In the end, I'll let you guys go. That's also something that I want y'all to touch on because when I got that that scoop about ZSJL coming to Netflix with the other Snyder projects, right? It spoke about that. Hey, this thing might not be like an exclusive deal like worldwide, right? This may actually be like to something where they're almost like it's for certain territories exclusive, but then still on Max in other areas. You're seeing now that these Netflix deals are being made, and it's kind of the same thing happening, right? And now it's the same thing with Batman, the animated series being moved to more areas internationally. So what's your guys' take on that?
So, all right, real quick, like it's fascinating because if you're Netflix, you have to operate in a way that is conducive to, all of your subscribers, and not everybody worldwide subscribes the same, right? So you'll have some regions that will pay attention to this sort of genre. You have another region that pays attention to these sort of actors. You have another region that pays attention to, or maybe they just don't add up to numbers that are equivalent enough to care about certain things, right? But point being is that, yeah, Netflix has to operate in a fashion that benefits Netflix, right, and their subscriber base. So I could totally see them, the Snyder Cut, or not Snyder Cut, but yeah, well, Snyder Cut plus whatever, the Snyderverse is exclusive to whatever Europe, but in India or something, it's like, you can see it on HBO Max plus this plus that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, depending on how the region works, the area works, the country, continent, whatever works, the area, they'll adjust and make do. But yeah, I could see them doing deals that are totally flexible, but ultimately end up working in favor of Netflix as a whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just the other subsidiaries that are just getting their things in order, and then the main one's gonna be like pow. And also, with Rebel Moon coming out, that was something that was touched on too. Is like they probably wouldn't announce it in the U.S. anyways, or make a huge deal of it that it was coming to the U.S. Before Rebel Moon. Like they probably wouldn't even put it on before Rebel Moon because they want to get that first, and then they could have Zack Snyder's Justice League put on Netflix, and just boom, more subscribers and more people checking out Rebel Moon after that. Like if I don't know about Rebel Moon, and then they put Zack Snyder's Justice League on there, you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna go now and support and like get in and watch that, and then you can watch. Oh, let me check out Rebel Moon now. So just it works out in their favor in so many ways, and ultimately it does help WBD get money because not only are they licensing their project out to get more eyes on it, but they'll still get the merch sales from this stuff, which is like, I don't know, like I would say a third of what the Snyder fandom spends their money on. Right now, it's like a half of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You were done, Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I know we've mentioned stuff like that in the past, but it definitely is worth reiterating is that there could be so many different types of deals, and not only like the regional area deals, but merchandising as well, especially in other regions where, like over here, for some reason, they're really weird about certain levels of merchandise sales versus blah, blah, blah. But over in another country, like they're selling shirts, action figures. Like Netflix can make a deal to where, they can make dividends off of this. Like where in the States, I guess maybe because of the optics, they may not want to go with action figure sales of the Snyderverse with Netflix. But over in another country, it's like, the optics don't really necessarily matter. Brand wise, you can release Netflix DC plus merchandise because Netflix does merchandise with their stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's total possibility. I be thinking about all that weird shit because you know how it is. Sometimes they just don't do certain things because of the optics. Like even though it'll make money, and they know it will, but optics wise, brand versus this brand or whatever. Even though I think, and I'm kind of on a little tangent, but I'm done in a second. Even though I think we're kind of beyond those sort of semantics of, the optics and the brand, but you never know. You know how Hollywood is, man. They always got their weird ass reasons for doing certain things and not doing certain things. But I digress.
Kind of like politics, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, I feel you on that. Definitely something to be wary of, as far as not doing something. But that is as far as that side of the argument goes. Where is the DCU? and how long till it fucking even is like begun and out there? You know what I'm saying? So like they have nothing but time. And if we're being completely honest, we don't have to like, I don't even have to preface it like that. The cold hard truth is they need to repair the DC brand because it's awful. It's in an awful state right now. Everyone, it's like the butt of every joke.
You're making me think of something that I've been wanting to say for a little while, and I'm glad you brought that up because we've brought that up before. All of us have talked about how it's like, what the hell is stopping them from, you know, cashing in on some DC before they get their shit in order with the DCU. But like, you know, Marvel for a time, they were really, you know, once they got past the fractious studios, I'm just joking around, but you know, Sony and all of them having their stuff, and they focused only on what they had, which was the Avengers. When they were doing that, right, they knew in the back of their mind, like, at some point these guys are going to get older, at some point we're going to have to stop this story, so we're going to have to do something else. So now they've been doing these other stories. It doesn't stop them from continuing the stories, right? I kind of think of it similarly. I know it's not the same, but similarly, that the DCEU in a sort of a transition towards what they're going to do next, in my mind, brand-wise, it's similar to what happened with the Avengers. Because like the Avengers is the creme de la creme when it comes to the MCU, right? And now they're transitioning towards all these little weird, different, like, what was not the Externals, the Eternals, all this bullshit that nobody really watched, right?
Right.
But they still did it anyway. In transition to whatever they got going on next, that's going to be bigger and better than this middle bullshit that they were doing.
Yeah,
right?
facts.
So you feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like you could still run the DCEU to its course, let it have its proper end or what have you with Netflix, while at the same time, while you get your bullshit going on, the DCU version of, you know, the Eternals or whatever what was that shit called?
Yeah,
was it the
right.
Eternals?
Yeah.
Right, the Eternals. Okay.
Eternals,
The Eternals. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that transition is called the DCU because that shit doesn't really have much ground or legs. You know what I mean? As it stands. I know it's new and it's kind of unfair to say that, but I just, from what we're hearing, it's just like maybe one or two movies, maybe. So that's my whole point. Is like during that phase, they could still be giving Netflix their room to do their thing with DC with the Snyderverse, get money from that, same shit we've been saying, while they iron out whatever they're gonna do with the DCU. Because push comes to shove, something's gotta happen, right?
Right.
And
yeah.
you're dumbass to let the Snyderverse just sit on the table, you know, like we've been saying.
Right. Yeah, but that's part of that stuff that you was talking about with the whole Holly Weird things, and sometimes they might not do something that would
Makes
obviously make money, right? Like hashtag release the air cut, right? Hashtag restore this night. These things would have obviously made money, but yet they did every single thing in which they could to go in the opposite direction, right? And you have to kind of wonder, like, you know, what are the investors thinking, right? I mean, I don't even know how you can sell that to the board.
That's
if it's like, yo, it's something that would clearly make us money. And, you know, I mean, the only way that you would be able to get that by, in my belief, is if it was like some nefarious plan to try to force some crossover down everybody's throat a few years down the line. And maybe that's what was going on the entire time. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? But I digress.
Message.
Right?
You remember that, Scott?
Message. Of course. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things where I really do feel that these things that are happening are nothing but news that we should be excited for. And you know, these whole international deals being worked out goes right along with what I was hearing. And this thing is unstoppable, y'all. Like I truly believe that. I never didn't believe it, but now it feels a lot different. I almost feel like at peace with the coming fruition that is going to take place. 100%.
Definitely. And I think what we saw, like, a lot of times, obviously history repeats itself, right? And if we're looking at history repeating itself with the Snyder fandom, as far as, before we hashtagged and we did actually get the Snyder cut released, and now we're hashtagging it to get it moved over to Netflix. Well, if you look at the history before, an outside force had to come in and get that shit done. As far as like AT&T, we're like, yo, what are we doing? We're gonna make some money here. Like, are we gonna do that? And then they facilitated it and like kind of got it done. I think that same thing is gonna be done, and with the outside forces, Mike DeLuca and Pamela Abdi, where they're like, hey, we got nothing going on right now. Are we gonna make some money here? Or are we gonna do it? And they're gonna say that to the board, and then Gunn's gonna have no rebuttal, but just to have a hissy fit and walk off probably, and then it's gonna get done. I think that's the outside force we're kind of waiting for to happen. When push comes to shove, who knows? But like you said, the deals are being done, and the palms are getting greased, and it's just the start. You know what I'm saying? Like the smaller gears have to turn before we get that big wheel turning, and we're getting closer and closer to that big wheel.
You actually, because I had thought of a point while you guys were talking, and then I kind of lost it when I came back because you guys were cooking, but it just came back. I know that you were talking about the order in which the ZSJL thing might end up happening. Austin, I think I disagree with you. I think ZSJL is probably going to end up on Netflix before Rebel Moon comes out.
Oh, damn.
And I got a couple things that I'll tell you as to why, right?
Okay,
think about, because first of all, that increases the hype for Rebel Moon exponentially, right? Think about this. In the first Rebel Moon trailer, it said, yo, from the director of, what was it, like 300 Watchmen or whatever, right? But guess what? After ZSJL is on Netflix, when you put, and you drop that last trailer, and you put from the director of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I mean, I don't see how that wouldn't be like the ultimate peak of like Zactivation. You know what I'm saying? I really do, because like, yo, it's a chance for them to get like some almost free publicity. I mean, they're paying for it, but they would be paying for that in the sequels probably. But that's also a great chance to hype up Rebel Moon even more.
Right.
Because I guarantee you that thing is going to go nuke. Man, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff, man. It's like so crazy. Man, look, it's one thing, like I have noticed that our presence has been missed, because the amount of fuckery that is going on surrounding the Zack Snyder name right now in the media, I don't think it's ever been at a higher point, right? I literally saw some article that was bashing Rebel Moon not like coming in theaters in like a weird way, but it was like, it probably is. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was literally sitting there saying how like, yo, it's not gonna get released in theaters and how that was a bad thing, but it was also like kind of throwing shots. But it's like, it is gonna be in theaters. Like,
is that they got nothing bad to say about a movie, so that's a big thing.
Right? It's like, yo, like it's really weird. But yo, yes, I'm totally galvanized, guys. And yo, I'm ready to keep this thing moving forward. And I think that Batman, the animated series, coming to Netflix on my birthday. That's, man, how the hell was I supposed to deal with that, guys? Like,
bro,
I don't know.
It's so funny too, because it's the only two countries that I've been to in Europe when I visited Europe, UK and Ireland. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Leon, I want to ask you, like, what's your thoughts on that, man? Like, am I tripping, or how was I supposed to take that? That this ended up coming a few days after our friend's passing, bro.
Man, it's it's bittersweet because any amazing news that comes after the biggest of the big homies passing, is bittersweet. We would have loved to have celebrated with him anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hear his thoughts and his wisdom. Not just the info behind the scenes, but just his thoughts, his wisdom. He had a knack for knowing like the spin and the angle on certain things, you know what I mean? Right or wrong. He made you think, you know what I mean? And someone like me who give me a topic, there's times I just rattle off my opinion like that. And even a guy like me, hearing him gives me pause and I go, I didn't even think of it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always like that about Mike, I always miss that. So it's bittersweet. Also, it feels like a sign, little cause for celebration. Call me wacky, but I dig that. Because Batman animated series, it's like, it's one of the grails, man. It's not just
it's creme de la creme, bro.
We both
creme
said
de la
that.
creme, baby.
We both
It's
said that.
The holy grail, bro.
Grails. You feel me? Like, it's not. And yeah, I didn't even know y'all said that. It's like it's there's few DC projects, American made, or just American made entertainment, period. There's very few that are like, especially when you get closer to the modern era, there's very few that like make everybody peak and go, what? What'd you just say? You know what I mean? Like, because like Batman animated series isn't just like niche. You can kind of go to anybody around our age. You know what I mean?
That's mainstream, bro. That's mainstream as it gets.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. It's like they may not know it like we do, but they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Hell, you can go to the grocery store right now. Well, maybe not
the
now.
voice too, bro.
Bro.
Huh?
That's
Kevin Conroy's voice too, bro. Like it's synonymous with the character.
That's what made him like the GOAT. That's like I put it in the chat earlier. Like that series was him concreting his feet, in place as Batman. Like, yo, I'm Batman. But
his voice work was so effortless. Like,
amazing.
How many times have you heard someone try to do a Batman voice in animation or whatever, and you can tell they're trying to imitate Kevin Conroy? Like, Bruce Greenwood, he did what did he do? He did, what was the first one? It was Under the Red Hood, and he also did, he transitioned over to, what was that show, man, before it got kind of crappy? Young Justice. He transitioned over to Young Justice. He did the Batman work over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought like he was like top 5, like hearing his voice. But there's something about Kevin Conroy. He has like a very effortless way of doing Batman, and he did it like, in my opinion, like 3 ways, 3 styles. He did like the early versions that were more like, like the no. It was like that depth and a distinction between him and Bruce Wayne.
He was the first one that really did that too. That brought the Bruce Wayne Batman having 2 different voices thing.
Right. He was among the first, him and Keaton. And then you got what he did in the 4th, technically like the 4th season or 3rd season. Hey, I'm not gonna argue. I feel you. Hey, Kevin Conroy over Michael Keaton all day. No offense.
No. It's like, did he really change his voice? I kind of remember him sounding like Michael Keaton. Yeah, I kind of remember him sounding like Michael Keaton.
Side note.
You want to get nuts?
In my opinion, I think there was a distinction because like Keaton whispered harder. Like in the Flash movie, it was just Keaton the whole entire fucking time. Let's be honest, with slight whispers. But in the 89 version to the Batman Returns version, there was a distinction. But like Kevin Conroy made it very, like he made it very like profound. You could really feel that there was a difference between he would go, "Hi, Lucius, how are you?" To, "Yes,
Yeah.
Alfred." Like it was like a distinct boom, boom, boom. And then in later season, that's technically season 3 or 4, depending on how you look at it, when they did the new art style, like the voice, because Bruce was bleeding into Batman, Batman was bleeding into Bruce. Like there was really no difference. It was just, "Clark, I know who you are," blah blah blah. And then when he's Bruce Wayne, is like, "Lois," blah blah blah. And it's like, damn, bro, you can't even take the mask off anymore. And then he went to Justice League Unlimited, and it was a little more lively, a little more like I'm gonna hit him real hard. But it was like he was almost enjoying being Batman, like. So
Yeah.
I love those 3 distinct styles, man. Rest in peace to Kevin fucking Conroy, bro. Sorry. that's 1B or 1A to my Batman love and my favorites, bro. Ben Affleck obviously being 1A or B. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Oh yeah, that just goes to show you though how much of a grail like this show is, and how much you know just about Kevin Conroy from the show, and you know that
Oh
the
yeah.
art style changed in season 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Like you know all that just to rip off in the conversation. Like that's how big Batman the animated series
Bro,
is.
look at all of the spinoffs, man. Static Shock, Superman, the animated series, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, right?
Yep.
Like,
Bro.
yo,
Started everything.
this was the
You
first.
just gave me another one. That was another one. Batman
What?
Beyond. That's the 4th.
Fourth.
Yeah,
Old Man Batman.
That's
Yeah.
the 4th, bro. I didn't even think about that because that was distinct too. That
So
older,
Yo.
like, "You're grizzled.
yeah, the
I'm
Grizzly.
tired of being Batman." That fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
right?
yeah, bro. I forgot about that. Dang.
No,
I forgot about that.
100%. There was like all these spinoffs, and it was also the first like cartoon or like one of the first TV shows that got a movie released in theaters when Batman Mask of the Phantasm came out. Batman
Oh,
Sub-Zero was a cold movie. Like
My goodness.
there's so many there's so many spinoffs and other films. I mean, y'all think The Walking Dead got spinoffs. Talk about Batman the animated series, you know what I'm saying? So yes, this series coming to Netflix in all these different places. This is huge news, man, and this is not to be understated. None of this was happening before this campaign started. None of these DC projects were like making their way over there, especially not in this quick damn succession. And there was never any HBO original content going over there either. So I know that we got this conversation started,
Yep.
and we gonna see this thing through to fruition, y'all. So if y'all got any like final takes and stuff, I'll let y'all go now. Leon, since you came in first, last, I will give you the platform first and let you cook for as long as you want, bro. Whatever you got to say, let the people know before we get on out of here, bro.
Oh, as long as I want. All right, y'all got time? No, I'm just kidding. No. So I'm gonna say this. Dang, it was something that you said that made me want to say something. Oh, okay. So yeah, man, you got a good point, man, about the time frame of Cell being born and potentially, realistically, influencing the different types of sales that are happening now. Because the difference is this: we knew that if a project was coming from, let's say, HBO or HBO Max and going over to Netflix, it had a timetable. Like the shit was in like every Netflix, like those websites that keep track of Netflix series and all this, and streaming in general.
Yeah.
They all had timetables, right? Like I remember when HBO Max first came out, within those first few months, everybody was like, "Damn, bro, y'all pulled so and so and such and snatched it away," and it was like, "Oh, it's going to Netflix for like a month or two, but it'll be back." You know what I'm saying? Like it was like that. That's not the same as what's happening now, which is quite literally series that are jumping over to Netflix with the literal HBO original banner across it that are staying for who the fuck knows how long, right? I'm obviously somebody can look that shit up, but
Hey,
apparently I've given Sky a thought. What's up? Go ahead, buddy. What you got? What you got?
Until further notice, bro.
Where is Batman the animated series going on Netflix right now?
What do you mean?
UK and Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Where did ZSJL get pulled
filmed?
off from Max recently?
Pulled off from it. Oh wow. Was it both of those places?
It was Europe, right? And somewhere else.
Oh shit.
Hey, bruh.
They were pissed in the UK. Yeah.
Hey. Oh my God, bruh.
Y'all want to tell me it wasn't going to Netflix?
Hey, I
just
just thought about that shit.
That shit
just thought about
that. Y'all wanted to tell me that wasn't. I was like, yo, it's going to Netflix for sure.
Hey, Mama Bear said that she want a full circle drop, so I'll make sure to give her a full circle drop. Oh my God, hold on, let me.
Me and Seal just pulled up full circle, walking down the line right now. What's going on, Seal? How you feeling, sir?
Hey, man. Feeling super.
Feeling super, right?
Man, it's still day.
Man, it's still a day. All right? Feel like I'm about to take flight in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Can't wait, yo. Full circle's about to be fucking amazing. We're about to go up here and go get in this line, get into this meet and greet, and we're about to see what's up. So we'll be tapping in with y'all. You know what I'm saying? You guys, stay tuned. Stay tuned,
Man, that was for you guys hitting 60 likes live. Thank you guys. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that documentary is going to change a little bit now. But man, can't wait, Joe. Can't wait to talk about this.
It's going to change a little bit, but for sure it's going to be going to come out.
But Leon, I want to hand you the mic back, bro, because I'm sorry, you just blew my mind, bro, when you brought that up, because it triggered that thought that, yo, this is like the same areas pretty much that CSJL got removed from on Max. Leon might be away from the mic for a little bit, so we'll wait for him to come back. But Austin, I will move on to you, bro. Can you give your final thoughts before we get on out of here, bro?
Yeah.
What you got to share with the people?
Yeah, man. It's just good news that we needed. The stars are aligning. The fact that it's being released on your birthday in those very countries that we had a conversation with Mikey about.
We absolutely did. We absolutely did.
When that happened,
me, you, and Mikey.
Yeah, dude. When that happened, I was like, "Yo, it's going to Netflix for sure." But that is it's just another sign, man. And it's funny. It's like how much that conversation like doesn't mean shit now. Like, but it's just hilarious that like Mikey was like, "Yeah, I could." I definitely see why you're hesitant to like believe that it's automatically gonna go to Netflix, but it could, and it's like, boom, here it is. It's on your birthday, bro. It's like Mikey was like, yo, here's our answer to that conversation we had. Basically, that's what you know what I'm saying? Like realistically, that's what it is. So a little inside baseball for Chad there, if you want to know like why this is really such a big deal. We literally had a conversation about this. So funny, and it goes to show you this conversation in general, all this stuff that's happening with Cell. Like, even though Mikey's not here, he will be here all along, every step of the way. Because it's we say things. It's like, man, Mikey told us that. Like shit. Like, oh damn. Like, and you were saying stuff earlier while I was watching, and I was saying in the chat, it's like it's crazy. Like he was teaching us all along the way. We didn't even realize it, but it was like,
Yeah, man.
you know what
That's
I'm
why I
saying?
keep smiling, bro. I keep
Yeah.
smiling like randomly and like laughing throughout the day because that's a great point, bro.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So, I I think it's awesome. I think it's just another step, one more step to the big domino, the final domino, and that's just how it is. It just builds up and builds up and builds up. Then it's gonna be all right. What happens when this goes on uh, Netflix in the U.S. and what happens when Zack Snyder's Justice League is pulled from Max in the U.S. Like, it's all just little steps along the
They
way.
probably gonna leave it on Max in the US to be petty. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we still want that engagement too.
Well,
That's
I
gonna
You
don't.
be the
understand?
optics.
Yeah,
Right?
the
We
optics.
still want that engagement too, right? Because ain't no way that we just gonna give you exclusive rights to one of our biggest IPs that we tried to bury and act like wasn't successful for all this time,
I think that's
right?
why. That's why though. That hasn't happened yet because Netflix, they're master negotiators, dude. I mean, they're reviving shows that were on other networks and platforms and stuff, and they're bringing all these shows over to theirs just to booster up stuff for their own subscribers. It's like, yo, you want to binge stuff? Here you go, boom. You never got to see this show because you didn't have HBO back in the day, and you don't have Max now, but you have Netflix now. Here, boom. Here's this show. Here's this show. And who knows what the future is of any of those shows too. They could come back, some of these shows, because they were in like their fifth, sixth season, even though they started back in 2013 or whatever. Um, I think it's great because I said it earlier. They're greasing the palms, dude. They're master negotiators. As much as we talk about the Hollywood shit, everything that I've seen from Netflix shows me that they're apart from it. They'll spend,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying?
100%, bro.
So, and they don't care
That's why they
about.
got Zach and Martin Scorsese and all them over there, and they're happy, bro. I think that's why.
Exactly, and that was part of the thing that I always lose my train of thought while I'm talking. But the point I was trying to make too, the not only do we have an outside force with Mike DeLuca and Pam Natty, but Netflix is the outside force, the unstoppable force that cannot be reckoned with. Like you can keep trying to stop, but they're just gonna keep coming back, dude, with a better deal or more. Like this is something that you cannot like negotiate your way out of. And at a point, it's like, what? Why are you being like this? And do you never want anything of yours to be on Netflix in the future? Because that's what it can come down to. I feel like Netflix would do that. Like, yo, fuck you then. We'll go chill with Paramount and NBC and all their stuff. Like, whatever. We'll just chill with what we got. And I think WB would lose more money than they're losing now if they did that. So it goes without saying that yes, we have to be cautious because we've seen the Hollywood weird shit. But I think Netflix is so far outside of that, and WBD is in such a compromised position that they have to recoup some money back to regain some type of value. Yes, they're going to be sold, right? But they don't want to be sold for nothing. They got to make some sort of money on their way out. So like they have to recoup some value for it. And yeah, when we see these numbers like millions and billions of dollars, that is a crap ton of money for us. But if you put it against like what it was bought for and like what Discovery had to spend to acquire WB, like what do we do? How are we cost affecting that number? Not to mention the bonus that Zaslav just decides to give himself. And his pay is congruent with the success of the stocks, which have just plummeted. So he needs to regain some value. And I'm sure in whatever deal that they have with it being sold, he's going to retain some form of operation. at first, and like when he's gone, he's probably going to retain some form of stocks or some percentage of everything. So again, he's not going to want to just give them a shitty company. They got to retain some sort of value, and I think it makes too much sense at the end of the day. You can say whatever you want, but just like that one song just blew up with that guy Anthony, I forget his last name, but you know the rich men north of Richmond or whatever, that song, like how it resonated so much, however it made you feel, it still resonated with everybody in America and outside of America too. So, and that's what this is. This situation, like, yo, you need money. We have something that's going to resonate with our subscribers, and this is going to resonate with you because what else are you doing that's really making money? Oh, we could see the numbers on all your other projects. Like, it's out there. All the money that you've lost this year alone. So it's gonna be one of those things that I think is just going to happen, and I believe it just as much now with this happening, and with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out on other platforms as well, internationally. I think it's just like I'm at the point where Mikey is now. I'm just like, yeah, it's just a matter of time. So that's my final point. Thank you for letting me get that out. And I appreciate everyone for being here for all of us this week. It's meant the world to all of us. I just want to say that one last time before we hop off here. Still Nation, Mikeyverse, Cool Table Family, Syndicate Network, whatever you want to call it, we appreciate y'all. So thank you. And thanks for having me on, Sky.
No problem, bro. Shouts out to the Creed. Said just peeked at Netflix. They have the full Dark Knight trilogy on Netflix. Woo. They call it the Dark Knight collection, Nolan's trilogy. And I actually just peeked at Netflix. That's what I was just doing. And it is on Netflix. So we'll probably be doing some watch-alongs with that as well.
But they can't afford it, Sky. Dude, the best.
She was like, he's checking Netflix. Hey, yo, see, she can tell, right? I like, yo, I literally went to go check Netflix. I was like, yo, let me go check real quick. I'm about to go see what's up.
No, that's hilarious. That's fire, bro. Hey, more DC and live action. Boom, 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 boom.
Shouts out to Mama Bear.
But not just doing animated.
Thank you for coming through, though, Austin. You already know it's just super dope having you on the platform, and for you, you know, getting your thoughts out there, bro. Leon, you want to finish what you're saying, bro? I will give you the platform back, and you can finish cooking. Since I interrupted you because you triggered that thought in my head, you know what I'm saying, that the country's kind of lined up that ZSJL got removed from and where BTAS is going currently.
Oh yeah. And yeah, shout out to you, Austin. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to the entire Syndicate Network. Shout out to Necron, wherever he may be. Still Abdul.
He's live right now, bro.
To the GOAT. Oh, he is?
He's at the witching hour right now, bro. Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Necron. That's what's up. And yeah, RIP to the biggest of the big homies, man. But yeah, man. I just wanted to point out the distinct difference between the sales, man, and the licensing situations. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to kind of highlight that there is no one path to any of this stuff. So anybody that thinks that they have the answer of all answers in the negative sense, well, we can come up with 50 legitimate reasons for why it could and should and will happen. That's pretty much what we've been saying since day one. The thought process that this is impossible, it should be out of the window at this point, unless you're just a blind hater. Like, I can have discussions of probabilities and you know, possibilities and all that. That's one thing. But don't look me in the face and tell me something's impossible. That's literally happening before our eyes in different forms and different genres and different TV shows and series, like, and movies. Like, no, stop it. Don't tell me it's impossible. It's certainly possible. So Batman animated series coming to Netflix is great. It's amazing. I think I just paid for my Netflix this past week, so again, I should say. So yeah, I can't wait to dive into that. I know we're gonna have to do a little something, you know what I mean, to represent that. Something we've been discussing behind the scenes, you know. Maybe we can do that, you know.
Funny
That
enough,
sounds like a great idea.
Funny enough too. The Nolan trilogy coming on Netflix in a timely fashion. I know you guys saw the slander that was going on recently.
Oh man,
isn't that very timely?
I instantly thought about that too when y'all mentioned it moments ago in the chat. I was like, what? I literally thought about that. And I thought about making a jab at another particular Batman movie where they tried to out Nolan. It's like, nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro. Hey, nah, bro. Out Nolan, man. That really. You know what? Honestly, I can say with pretty much a lot of confidence that one thing right there set the Batman up for everything that kind of happened after it came out. Because you just can't say stuff like that, man. Like you just can't say stuff like that because it raises the expectations tremendously. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That would have been like Johnny Manziel coming out and his rookie year be like, "Yo, I'm gonna be Tom Brady, bro. I'm a fucking, I'm
Al Brady.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It puts your back up against the wall already,
bro.
And like
your name might be Johnny Football, but you ain't Johnny Foxborough, dog. Like what the fuck?
Johnny Foxborough.
You know what's crazy is like, in my anecdotal experience, it was speaking of the Batman. I know we're not gonna make this the Batman conversation, but just touch on it real quick. Like, I haven't met anybody in real life who watched that movie who actually liked it. Like, I shit you not, not one, dude.
Yeah,
I knew this. I knew this couple who like they had recently saw it, and they're big geeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, the wife is mad cool and like really attractive chick. Like she's dope. And you wouldn't think she's a geek at all by stereotypical standards, right? Freaking nerd, she's total nerd. The husband, he cool peoples and he's a big old geek. And when you see him, you're like, oh yeah, he's a fucking geek. But her, you're like, she's watching the Batman and she's overly analyzing it and shit. And she's just like, why the fuck doesn't this guy speak Spanish? I bust out laughing, bro. I was like, bro, that's the question, man. And she's like, laughing, like, for real? I was like, you have no idea, because like, they don't know that I even do podcasts, but that day they found out. I'm like, yeah, man, I podcast with these homies sometimes, and we discuss this sort of stuff, and that's like the thing that we used to make fun of, and like everybody else on the internet. And she was like, I just don't understand. And the husband's like, this doesn't feel like Batman to me. I was like, because it's not. It's really just some director's idea of what they think Batman should be. A really loud, really emo, very unintelligent, possibly virgin version of the playboy billionaire, philanthropist, genius, weapon of destruction known as Batman. You know?
So bad, dude.
Hey, I came front with all the problems I had for that movie. I did walk out excited for the sequel, though. It was one of the weirdest movies I've ever watched, because I was like, I didn't really like this one. I was like, but I feel like the second one's gonna be better.
Right, because it can't get any worse.
It was so weird. I don't know. It can't get any. Come on, bro.
It can't.
That's crazy.
And especially with the state of DC right now, it's like, shit. Can the Batman really be as bad as what's to come?
I didn't go see that in the theaters. I was asking a lot of people who did though. And that was
I went with a friend that paid for me to go see it. 100%.
I remember that. I'm only going because my homie's paying. But
I feel you.
yeah, for real, yeah. All right, if you're paying, I'll go. But that movie for me was the Yeah But movie of 2022 or whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I gotta ask everybody, did you like it? Well, yeah, but yeah, but like, damn, that's all
right.
I'm hearing right now. It's like bunch of yeah buts, dude. The fuck?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I heard that too. And then at the end of the conversation, it's almost like, but did you really? And they're
Yeah.
like, nah, not really, I guess, right? Like when you put it like that. And it's like, nah,
Yo,
Then my question was
the
after we had
ending
this,
saved it for me, bro. Like
the
I
ending.
was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like they flooded Gotham. Like, oh man, like because it was new, right? I was like, yo, like I didn't see that coming. You know, I kind of thought it wasn't gonna happen, but then
If you got to the ending, right?
bro, Shorty, the wife, she ripped the ending apart, bro. That's crazy that
oh
you
my
say
god,
that. She was like, I fucking hated the ending. She was like, that melodramatic cutting of the cord,
no,
bullshit.
not that scene, not that scene. Oh, yo, I totally agree. The whole
Cutting it. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, what the fuck? Why do
yeah.
you do that? Does he not have a gadget to like? I'm like, yo, man, this was like the most bullshit, watered down version of Batman ever. And then we all kind of laughed about when I told him, I said, this motherfucker, I guess Google hasn't been created in Gotham, bro. Cause like he could literally Google translate a number of different things that he was having trouble with in that whole
Right?
movie.
And then like it was weird because like all the architecture and stuff looked super old, but then it was like a modern movie. It was like, wait, but is it like is it not? Like I don't get it. Like I don't know. It was just
I ain't gonna lie, I
it was
fucked with that. That whole the backdrop looking
I mean,
gothic
I
than a
get it.
motherfucker. That shit was
Yeah,
nasty. I love that shit. But
I
I get
get
what you're
it,
saying.
but yeah, because it causes problems with the Google Translate stuff, right? It's like, bro, like how do you not like how are you not able to translate this? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
But the fucking Riddler's got YouTube, bro. Like, what the fuck?
but the Riddler's a YouTuber. Look, look,
Woo!
What the fuck?
yo,
Bruh.
was you finished, Leon? Or was there anything else that you wanted to add?
I mean, I think I'm good, bro. I think we covered, and I covered a lot. And I think with the extra added bonus of cooking the Batman, I mean, hey, you know,
It's a good
I love
return
it.
stream, bro.
Right? Basically.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, gentlemen. Absolutely.
Mama Bear said, "Did I hear the wife? That was his
Oh
friend's
no,
wife."
not mine. Not even though
Whoa.
that's a conversation for another day as far as that wife and her feelings towards your boy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And homeboy knows about it. That's the crazy part. I'm just throw that out there.
Dang.
That's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you know your wife. Anyway, that's terrible. Why are we talking about this right now? Because I can. Shout out to Mikey. Shout out to Mikey. Shout out to
Because
Mikey,
I
man.
can. Right.
Facts.
Look. Thanks for coming on, bro. It was great having you here, man. And a great kind of stream where we could, you know, get some laughs in and have a good time, right?
Absolutely, man.
As for myself, yes, you know, this news hitting, as I said before, like as soon as I found out that it was dropping on my birthday, and every time I thought about it since, I haven't been able to hold back tears, right? Because I really feel like this is a moment for not only myself, but for this entire movement to just really have a moment where we can come together and really celebrate something during a tough time, right? And we could get some good news at a time when we needed it the most, right? It is bittersweet, but I do take solace in the fact that I know that this was something that Mikey truly believed in, and you know, we're gonna keep this going forward, Joe. We absolutely will. I will not be stopping anything that I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I feel more galvanized to keep this thing going than ever before. With that being said, I will be doing cartoons and cereal tomorrow. I will be doing a Twitter space tomorrow. I do have I'm going to be having another episode of the Sit Down with Skywalker coming out tomorrow. I will be streaming on the Sunday as well. We got a few things to talk about, and we got a few conversations to have. And I want to do everything that I can to be able to keep this thing alive, right? This GoFundMe for Mikey Sutton's family. So all these streams that I will be doing will have that link in the description for you guys to head on over there and to support the family in this time of need, because it's something that I truly believe in, and we need to come together as a community. I want to thank all you guys for being here tonight and for taking part in this stream, be it live crew or the replay crew that'll be coming through later. You guys have all been amazing. As I said before, when they go low, just continue going forward, right? Just keep moving forward, and don't even look at them in the rearview mirror, right? Because when you look in the rearview mirror, you're focused on what's behind you in the past, and what's really important is what lies before you in the future. So thanks, you guys. We're gonna be having some conversations pretty soon. Make sure that you guys are tuned in to all these platforms, because we got a lot of stuff coming for you guys, and we're gonna keep this whole Mikeyverse dream alive, yo. Much love, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey.